I'm Kim, and welcome to a gentle yoga class. Always listen to your body, because every practice is different. If you need to take a break, just go into a comfortable resting pose like child's pose or some other comfortable pose for you. So let's get started. If you happen to have a yoga block handy, like this that I'm sitting on, or a bolster, a blanket, a pillow, sometimes elevating your hips above your knees gets your pelvis into better alignment and gets your spine into better alignment, but it just depends on your body. So let's start into a comfortable seated position, elevating your hips if you need to. And then once you're comfortable, think about sitting well. Think about a nice long, tall spine, long neck. Your neck still probably tends to be tilted forward a little bit, so press your head back against your hand to get your neck into really good alignment. And then your shoulders you want to roll up, back, and down. And your palms can be face down for relaxation, face up for a little more energizing. You could have, if you need a little of each, you could have one up and one down. And then let's listen to our breath for just a few moments. So either close your eyes or gaze gently at the floor and listen to your breath. And if your breath is short or shallow, try and lengthen your inhales and your exhales to whatever's comfortable for you. Maybe count to 4 on an inhale, 6 on an exhale. And try and breathe in and out through your nose to tap into your parasympathetic nervous system. And if you'd like to set an intention for your practice, this would be a nice time to do it. If you'd like to devote it to someone you're thinking of or that isn't well, or a state of being. Peace, tranquility, harmony, or a state of being of staying present in the class. Take another inhale, and on your exhale, slowly lower your chin to your chest, but keeping your shoulders rolled back and down. Then on an inhale, roll your right ear to your right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Then inhale, roll your left ear to your left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Do a few of these at your own speed with your own breath. Exhaling, chin to chest. Inhaling, ear to shoulder. Do one more each side. And then keep your chin to your chest and take your hands and rest them gently on the back of your head and apply just a little pressure to lower your chin down just a little bit more and give a nice back of your neck stretch. Then release your hands and crisscross your arms and take them to your shoulders. And as you're bringing your head gently up, give yourself a shoulder massage at the top of your shoulders, near your neck. And breathe. And uncross them, and you can reach all the way back on your shoulder blades. Do some long massages with your hands. Massage the sides of your neck. Massage the front just a little bit, looking up a little bit. And then bring your hands back to stillness, and let's do some big shoulder rolls. Inhaling up, back, and down. You could use your whole arm if that feels good. And change direction, inhaling towards the back, exhaling towards the front. Then come to stillness and tend your fingers out beside you and connecting your breath to your movement. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, lower down. Again, inhale up. Really lengthen your torso. Exhale down. One more, up and down. And then inhale, keep your right fingers tented down beside you on the mat, and inhale up with your left arm. Exhale, a gentle fold over. Inhale back up and over with the same arm again. And over. And one more time. Then tent your left fingers on the mat beside you and inhale up with your right arm. And gently fold over with an exhale. Up and over. And again, same arm. And one more. Last time. Now inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist your torso to the right and lower your hands. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to your left, lower your hands. And back to center. Do a few of these at your own speed with your own breath. Exhaling in your twist. Inhaling at the center. And do one more each side. And come back to center. And if you're elevated on something, come down off of what you're elevated on. And if your ankles are crossed one direction, cross them the other direction. And then on an inhale, reach up for the sky. Exhale, hinge your hips flat back, forward fold. And take a few breaths here. And look up between your hands and walk your hands over to your right side, over your right knee. And take a breath here. And walk your hands back to the center and over to your left side. And walk your hands back to center and use your hands to walk yourself back up. Let's do some waist rotations here. Inhaling with your waist to the front, exhaling in a big slow circle around to the back, one direction. And come to stillness and change direction. And then come to stillness and let's do some seated cat and cows. On an inhale, expand your chest, bring your shoulder blades together into a seated cow. Exhale, reverse your arch into a cat. Inhale to cow. You can include your shoulders rolling back in cow and forward in cat. Cow and cat. couple of these at your own speed with your own breath. Inhaling in cow, exhaling in cat. Good. Then come to stillness and bring your legs straight out in front of you. And flex your feet. Get a little activation in your legs, a little tension. Use your hands to sit yourself up on your sits, lift yourself up, sit back down really well on your sits bones. Nice long, tall spine. Then reach up for the sky. Exhale, hinge at the hips, flat back, forward fold. And again, we're going to take a few breaths here. Nice long breaths. Maybe folding just a little bit more on an exhale. Then use your hands on an inhale to walk yourself back up and take your right foot across your left leg, and you can stay here, or you can bend your left knee and bring your left foot behind you. Whichever's comfortable for you. And then once you're situated, inhale, reach up for the sky. Exhale, twist your torso to the right, lower your arms. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths, so make small adjustments. Your left arm could be straight, or you could be holding your knee. And on an exhale, try and twist just a little bit more. Maybe looking back over your right shoulder towards the back of the room a little bit more. And then look back over your left shoulder towards the front of the room. And then look back over your right shoulder towards the back. And then come back to center and reverse your twist to the other side. And come back to center and straighten your legs out in front again. Give them a little shake. And then take your left foot across your right leg. And again, you can stay here for the twist, or bend your right knee and bring it back. And then once you're situated, inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist your torso to the left this time. Lower your arms. And again, we're going to stay here for a few breaths. So maybe try and twist just a little bit more on an exhale. And look back over your right shoulder towards the front of the room. And then back over your left shoulder again towards the back. And then inhale to reverse your twist to the other side. And then come back to center and bring your legs straight out in front again. And inhale up one more time, reaching up. Exhale, hinge at your hips flat back again. And take a breath or two here. Lowering your head can take the stretch along your entire spine. Then on your next inhale, use your hands to walk yourself back up. And bring your feet around and come up on your knees. And straighten your right leg. We'll be mirroring each other. If you straighten your right leg, you should feel like you're looking in a mirror. And inhale, reach up with your left arm. Exhale over for gate pose. And take a breath. Check your arm above you. Make sure it's back over your head as much as possible. Try not to press on your knee with your right hand. And inhale up and over with that arm. And up and over with your other arm. And really reach with your fingertips, press with your foot. Really lengthen your side and breathe. And on an inhale, do a big slow circle one direction with your arm. Inhaling up, exhaling down. You can even go back a little with your arm when it's above you if that feels good. And change direction. Then come to stillness and inhale up one more time with your left hand and arm and exhale over. And inhale up and over with that arm again and switch knees. And inhale up with your right arm and exhale over. Again, check your arm above your head, that it's back over your head as much as possible, not pressing on your knee with your other hand, just gently resting it there. Then inhale up and over with that arm and up and over with your other arm. And again, reach with your fingertips, press with your foot, elongate your side. And on an inhale, make a big slow circle with your left arm, one direction. And change direction. And then come to stillness, inhale up one more time with your right arm, and exhale over. Then inhale up and over with that arm, and come to both your knees. And then on an inhale, reach up. Exhale with a flat back. Lean back about 45 degrees if you can. If not, just any amount of leaning back is great. Inhale back up, exhale back, and up, and back. One more time. Up, and back. Then up and lower your hands to the back of your hips and rest them gently there. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. And then gently press your hands against your hips for a small upper back bend camel. And take a breath or two. And inhale back up and over into tabletop. And then once you're in tabletop, check your neck. Make sure it's nice and long, not sunk down or cranked back. Then on an inhale, lift your head and your tailbone towards the ceiling and lengthen your abdominal muscles for cow. Try not to compress your lower back. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. Do a few few of these at your own speed with your own breath. And then come to stillness, and we're going to transition cow into cat with a big barrel roll, like you're going around the inside of a big barrel with your torso. So from cow, take an inhale, and then on an exhale, roll your torso around up into cat, like you're going around the inside of a big barrel. One direction, big slow circles. From cow, around, up into cat. And you can do any other organic movement that feels good too. And then come to stillness and go the other direction. And then come to stillness and straighten your right leg. Flex your foot, really press that heel back towards the back wall behind you. Then rock up on your tippy toes a little bit and then back down. Up and down a few times. And then come to stillness. And then bring your right knee to the mat, straighten your left leg. Again, really flex that foot, press that heel back. Then rock up onto your tippy toes and down. Then come to stillness, and on your next inhale, lift your left leg straight up and bring your right arm straight out. Really reach with your fingertips, press with your heel to lengthen your back and your spine. Take an inhale, exhale, lower them to the mat. Then alternate, lift your left arm, right leg. Really reach with your fingertips, press with your heel. Exhale, lower down. Alternate right arm, left leg. And down. Left arm, right leg. And down. Left leg, right arm. And down. Left arm, right leg. And down. And then let's press back into child's pose. And take a few breaths here. Really press your hands into the mat. Reach with your tailbone for the mat to really lengthen your spine. If you have any discomfort in child's pose in your hip area, you could separate your legs apart a little bit, not wide knees or anything, just separate a little bit to create a little more space for your pelvic area to settle down between your hips. And then look up between your hands and walk your hands over to the right side of your mat and take a breath here. And then look up and walk your hands back to the center and over to the left side. And then walk your hands back to the center and press back up into tabletop. And on an inhale, reach up with your left arm. Exhale through for thread the needle. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths, so make small adjustments. Maybe walk your right hand further up the mat and use it to press your hips further back. If you would like to take a bind here, you could wrap your right arm around your back and breathe. This is a good time to revisit your intention if you set one at the beginning of class. Then your next inhale, if you're in a bind, release your bind. Press your right hand into the mat again and reach up one more time with your left arm on an inhale. And exhale, lower your left hand to the mat. And then on an inhale, reach up with your right arm and exhale it through for thread the needle on this side. And then again, make small adjustments. Maybe walk your left hand further up the mat. Use it to press your hips back a little bit more. If you'd like to take a bind, you could reach up and around with your left arm across your back. Take a few deep inhales and exhales. Then next inhale, if you're in a bind, release your bind. Press your left hand into the mat. Reach up with your right arm one more time. And exhale down to the mat. Now walk your hands up to the top corners of your mat and walk your knees back so they stay under your hips. And melt down into puppy pose. And take a breath or two. And then look up between your hands and slide forward on your elbows down to your stomach for Sphinx pose. And once you're situated in Sphinx pose with your elbows right under your shoulders, your legs, if you have any back discomfort, could be separated a little bit instead of together. And then once you're situated, you want to spread your fingertips wide apart so you can really grip the mat. And use your fingertips to shrug yourself forward on your hip bones just a little bit more to get a little more abdominal muscle activation. And then we're going to stay here for a few breaths, so you can do whatever you like. You can, with your head, you can look around. You can look down, just try not to lower your shoulders. Take another breath. And on an exhale, lower all the way down to your stomach and bring your arms back by your sides for a locust pose. And in locust, on an inhale, we're going to lift both our legs and our arms up and bring our shoulder blades together and hold it for a few breaths and then lower down. So inhale up and breathe. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more, up. And down. Now make a pillow for your head with your hands and bring your toes together and lay your heels out for a crocodile pose. You can stay still in crocodile, or you could rock your hips a little side to side. Try and breathe so deeply that you feel your back expanding and going up into the space above you, behind you. And then next inhale, press up into tabletop. And back into child's pose again. And then press up into tabletop and into downward dog. And establish a good solid downward dog with your fingertips spread wide apart, really gripping the mat, tailbone reaching for the ceiling, belly button reaching for the spine. You look side to side very slowly. You look up and down very slowly. And then come to stillness, and if you need to inch your feet out, tippy-toeing back a little bit, lower down into plank. And then back up into downward dog. You might need to tiptoe back forward a little bit. And then down into plank again, tiptoeing back if you need to. One more time in downward dog, tiptoeing if you need to. And then lower down into plank again. And then lift your right leg, straight right leg, and lower it. Lift your left leg, using your glutes, lower. Right leg, left leg. Being sure to breathe. Right leg and left leg. And then press back up into downward dog again. And then look between your hands and bring your left foot through for a low lunge, either with your knee on the mat or off the mat. And then once you're situated in your lunge, inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, twist your torso to the right, straighten your arms. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to your left, straighten your arms. Then inhale back to center. Exhale, lower your knee to the mat. Then inhale, go a little deeper into your lunge. Exhale back to a hamstring stretch. Inhale, lunge. Exhale back. Last time, lunge and back. And then we're going to hold it here for a breath or two. So flex your left foot if you're not already. You can wiggle your hips a little side to side. And then on an inhale, come forward onto your left foot and walk it over to the right side of your mat and lower your knee down to the mat for pigeon. And in pigeon, your back leg could be straight or it could be bent to any degree and you get the same effect. So the most important thing in pigeon is that your hips are level so that you don't tip over when you lift your hands. And if you tip over, then on this side you need to put something under your left hip, like a blanket or a pillow or something to support yourself. And then once you're situated, take an inhale. Exhale, slowly lower down. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths, so make small adjustments while we're here. Flex your left foot if you're not already, the one closest to you. Try and lower your right hip bone closer to the mat. If you like to do something different with your arms, you could straighten your left arm and thread your right arm through for thread the needle while we're here. Actually, I'll probably reverse that. Sorry, straighten your right arm, take your left arm through. And breathe. Next inhale, if your arm is thread through, unthread it. Press yourself back up into pigeon. And then back into tabletop and into downward dog. And establish a good solid downward dog again. Make sure your neck is nice and long. And on the exhale, lower down again into plank. Maybe stepping back with your toes if you need to, just a little bit. Inhale back up into downward dog. Tiptoeing forward again if you need to. Back into plank. Into downward dog. Back into plank. And then on an exhale, lower your knee. Bend your right knee, but don't touch the mat. And then straighten your leg. Bend your left knee and straighten. Right knee, straighten. Left knee, straighten. Right and left. And then press back up into downward dog. And then look between your hands and bring your right foot through for a low lunge. Either with your knee on the mat or off the mat. And then inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, twist your torso to the right, straighten your arms. Back to center, twist to the left. Back to center, exhale, lower your knee to the mat. Inhale, go a little deeper into your lunge. Exhale back for hamstring stretch. And lunge. And back. One more. Lunge. And back. And we're going to take a couple of breaths here. So flex your right foot if you're not already. Try and flatten your back just a little bit more. And breathe. On your next inhale, come forward onto your right foot. Walk it over to the left side of your mat and lower your right knee down for pigeon on this side. And again, your back leg could be bent or straight. Main thing is if it's straight too, to look back and make sure it's as straight as it can be and not sickling in or out. And check your hips. On this side, if you tip over, you need to put something under your right hip. Once you're situated, take an inhale. Exhale, slowly lower down. We're going to stay here again for a few inhales and exhales. So flex your right foot if you're not already, the one closest to you. Try and lower your left hip closer to the mat. And on this side, if you like to do something different with your arms, you could straighten your left arm and thread your right arm through, or thread the needle with the arms. On your next inhale, if your arm is thread through, unthread it. And press back up into pigeon. And back into tabletop. And into downward dog again. Then on an exhale, lower down into plank. And back into downward dog. Into plank. Into downward dog. Into plank. And then lower your knees and come down onto your elbows for elbow plank. Then lift your knees back up for elbow plank. And then let your heels fall to the left and come up on your left elbow for side plank. And you can straighten your arm and breathe. Then exhale, lower your arm if it's up. Lower your hips all the way to the mat. And lay your legs on top of each other. And then scoot your elbow out a little bit so you start to feel a good stretch on your left side. And maybe shrug your shoulder towards your head a little bit. And breathe. And then roll back over onto your stomach to elbow plank. And then let your heels fall to the right and come up on your right elbow for elbow plank on this side. And again, you could straighten your arm and breathe. And on exhale, lower your hips all the way to the mat. Scoot your elbow out a little bit until you start to feel a stretch on your right side. Lay your legs on top of each other. Shrug your shoulder a little bit toward your right shoulder towards your head a little bit. And enjoy this nice side stretch. And then roll back over onto your stomach and press up into tabletop, into downward dog. One more time. Inhale, come up on your tippy toes. Exhale, come down. And up and down. One more, up and down. And then take your right foot across your left foot across right foot. Crisscross all the way up, bend your knees if you need to, all the way up to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Then, again, bend your knees if you need to, hinge at your hips, flat back, inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, a little right bend, and center, and left. And center. Exhale, a little upper back bend. Inhale back up. Exhale, hands heart center. Okay, let's establish a good solid Tadasana, mountain pose, before we move along. You want your feet about hip width apart. You want to lift all your toes off the mat and then put them down one at a time. Pinky toes first. All the other toes as slowly as you can to get them really grounded into the mat. Then come up on your tippy toes and back down so you really feel all the parts of your feet gripping the mat. Want a little tension in your legs. Nice neutral pelvis, not forward or back. And your torso you want nice and long, so you want to reach up like you're reaching for a top shelf in a closet. Exhale down. Your shoulders roll up, back, and down. This takes your neck into good alignment, but the head still tends to be tilted forward. So take your head and press it back against your hand again to get it into really good alignment. And then your shoulders, you want to roll, oops, we've already rolled our shoulders, sorry about that. Your hands can be relaxed. And let's take a few breaths and enjoy this nice, strong pose, mountain pose. You can close your eyes or gaze gently at the floor if you're comfortable. And then bring your feet a little bit closer together for chair pose. And on an inhale, reach up and come up on the tippy toes. Exhale down into chair, hands at heart center. Inhale up, exhale, chair. Inhale up, exhale, chair. And we're gonna come up on your right foot, lifting your left knee, bending your left knee and bringing your left leg up. Exhale down to chair. Stand up on your left leg, bringing your right knee up. Back down to chair. Left knee, slowly and controlled. Chair. Right knee. And chair. One more time with the left knee. Chair. And right knee. And chair. And then stay in chair, take an inhale. Exhale, twist your torso to the right. Prop your elbow. Back to center. Twist to your left. And center. Sit a little deeper. Inhale, reach up for the sky. Exhale, hinge at the hips, flat back, forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, hands heart center. Okay, for the next part of the practice, I invite you to turn your mat sideways if it's not already sideways instead of lengthways. It'll probably be easier to follow along with the next portion. So I'll give you a minute to get situated. And then we're going to start in Tadasana. Hands at heart center. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, a little bend to your left. We're going to mirror each other. Inhale, center. Exhale, fold to your right. Inhale, center. Exhale into goddess. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, goddess. 5-pointed star and goddess. 5-pointed star, then exhale, lower your arms, shift your right hip out, reach with your left hand over into triangle. And try and keep your chest open in triangle, your hips open, your top shoulder back. If you're folding over, come up just a little bit. We're going to take this first one a little slower. And exhale over into pyramid. And if you need to be here for pyramid with your hand on your shin, that's good too. Then inhale up into high lunge. And over into extended side angle. Then inhale over to the other side and extended side angle. Into high lunge on the other side. Over into pyramid. Open into triangle. Inhale up into 5-pointed star. Exhale into goddess. Inhale, feet together, arms together. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, open into goddess. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, goddess. 5-pointed star and goddess. 5-pointed star. Exhale, lower your arms. Shift your right hip out. Reach with your left hand over into triangle. Over into pyramid. Up into high lunge. Over into extended side angle. Inhale over to the other side for extended side angle. Into high lunge. Over into pyramid. And open into triangle. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, feet together, arms together. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, separate into goddess. 5-pointed star and goddess. 5-pointed star and goddess. Last one, 5-pointed star. Exhale into triangle. Into pyramid. Into high lunge. Over into extended side angle. Inhale over to the other side for extended side angle. Into high lunge. Over into pyramid. And open into triangle. Inhale to 5-pointed star. Exhale to goddess. Inhale, feet together, arms together. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, hands heart center. Okay, and take your feet about shoulder width apart for standing straddle. And take your hands behind you, clasp your hands, bend your elbows, take an inhale, and exhale, flat back, forward fold. Then release your hands to the mat and inhale, reach up with your left arm for a twist. Then lower your left hand to the mat, reach up with your right arm for a twist. Then exhale your right hand to the mat, walk both your hands over towards your right foot. Walk your hands back to center and over to your left foot. And walk your hands back to center and bring your feet in about half the distance they are right now by heel toeing in. And then lower down into your version of Malasana, garland pose, or squat pose. And your heels can be off the mat or elevated on something if you need them to be. Just wherever you can get for squat pose for a few breaths. Check your spine. It should be nice and long, lengthened. You could rock a little side to side. And then on the exhale, lower down to the mat. And let's do a few back rolls. And then come to stillness from one of your back rolls in Navasana or boat pose. Find a nice place for you, nice bit of tension. Take an inhale, exhale, straighten your legs and lean back just a little bit. Inhale up, exhale back, and up, and back. Take a breath here. Exhale, lower your feet and recline for bridge pose. And for bridge pose, we're going to do a few dynamic bridges first with raising our arms above our head. We go up into bridge and then bringing them back down. So inhale, up. Exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. And one more, up. And down. The next bridge we're going to hold for a few breaths, so you might not want to raise your arms above your head, but you could clasp your hands behind your back, roll your shoulders under, so whatever's comfortable for you. So inhale up, and breathe. And if your shoulders are tucked under your back, untuck them. On your next exhale, lower slowly down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Lumbar vertebrae last. And then bring your feet above you with straight legs for waterfall. If you need any support under your sacrum, you could use your hands to help. And once you're in waterfall, do some pointing and flexing your feet. Do some small ankle rolls one direction. And change direction. Then come to stillness and take the soles of your feet and try and face them towards each other and away. Towards and away. Towards and away. Do a couple more. Good. Then come to stillness and let's do big slow bicycles, one direction. And change direction. And come to stillness, and with your feet together and your legs together, do small circles, one direction. And change direction. And then come to stillness and give your legs a good shake for a few breaths. And come to stillness. And bend your knees and place your peace fingers between your big toe and your second toe for happy baby. And you can either stay still in happy baby or rock a little. You can have straight legs, bent knees. Doing nice deep breaths while we're in happy baby. And then come to stillness and bring your legs together for hug knees. And you can either do tight hug knees, grasping your elbows and staying pretty still, maybe a little rocking side to side, mostly staying pretty still, breathing. Or you can do looser hug knees and grasp your shins. And then you can do small circles to massage your back. And if you're doing the circles, change direction. And then come to stillness and keep your right knee hugged to your chest. Straighten your left leg. Then alternate. Left knee to chest, straighten right leg. And alternate. And alternate. And alternate. And alternate. And then keep your left knee hugged to your chest and bring your right foot to the mat. Place your left ankle above your right knee for reclining figure four. And then decide what's best for you, either grasping behind your thigh or through to grasp your shin on your right leg. What's best for you. If you're grasping your shin, then press your shin up towards the ceiling a little bit more once you're situated. If you're grasping behind your thigh, you can use your left elbow to press against your left thigh to increase the stretch a little bit more. And breathe. And flex your feet if you're not already. Then release your right foot to the mat. Place your left foot on the mat and then place your right ankle above your left knee. And decide what's best for you on this side, either behind your thigh or through to your shin. Want your shoulders as relaxed as they can be. Nice relaxed neck. Flexed feet again. Then release your left foot to the mat, your right foot. And with both feet on the mat, lift your hips up and shift them a little to your left and then lay them back down on the mat. This gets your spine in really good alignment for a twist. Then straighten your right leg. Take your left knee across for a twist. Take your left arm perpendicular behind you. And then we're going to stay here for a few breaths. So try and look back over your left shoulder a little bit more. Take your left shoulder closer to the mat. If you want a little more of an intense stretch, you could straighten your top leg. You could straighten it. You could wrap it around your bent knee. Try a few different things. Nice deep breaths. And then roll back onto your back again. And with both your feet on the mat, lift your hips up, shift them a little to the right this time, and then lower them back down. Straighten your left leg. Take your right knee across. And reach out perpendicular behind your self with your right arm. Maybe try and take your right shoulder closer to the mat. Again, you could straighten your top leg. You could wrap it around your other leg. And then roll back onto your back again. And straighten your legs full length. And your arms full length above you. And then on a inhale, do a full body stretch. Inhale. Stretch. Exhale. Release. And then you could either stay here for a short savasana, or you could adjust more into a star shape, or you could roll onto your side or your stomach. You don't have to be on your back. You want to collect a pillow or blanket, some props to get a little more comfortable. You're going to take a very quick but enjoyable savasana. So once you're situated and comfortable, close your eyes. Maybe tilt your chin down just a little bit. And try not to think about anything for the next few moments. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Everything's okay. Roll over onto your side so you can assimilate your practice. And thank your body for doing yoga today. And then push up into a comfortable seated position. And I hope you feel wonderful. Have a great rest of your day. And I appreciate any comments, feedback, suggestions you may have. And I do hope to see you again in the future. Namaste.